Namaste. This question was asked by another devotee that when we sacrifice something, would we be compensated equally? Like supposing the monks who sacrifice their career, their future, their ambitions, their even ancestral properties, everything, and go and join ashrams, then for that sacrifice, would they be equally compensated by peace or happiness or spiritual knowledge, like that? If we are thinking of something with which we would be compensated in return, then we shouldn't use the word sacrifice. You can say punya karma, isn't it? That whatever good we do, good comes back to us, returns to us in some way or the other. So you can say that it's good deeds, it's punya karma. Like when you give 10 rupees to a beggar, you of course don't think of being compensated. Or when a little child is studying for exams, the child is studying just because his mother is telling him to study. And even for him it might seem like a lot of sacrifice, like he's not going to play, he's not watching his cartoons, and he is focusing on his studies just because his mother has said so. But then naturally he will be rewarded with good marks in exams and appreciation from his teachers and whatever, and all the knowledge that is being gained also through the studying. But that is actually not a sacrifice, isn't it? That is like you are already working hard in order to achieve something and doing good work. If you are doing it so that you are expecting some return, then it's like good karma, that's all. You can't say it's a sacrifice. If it's truly a sacrifice, like when monks leave their homes and everything, it's not that leaving a home and leaving property and his ambitions immediately, like you don't expect peace and happiness, like you have to work for it. So the work part is separately done, doing meditation, doing dedicated service for the society and whatever. But the sacrifice is a sacrifice. The monk doesn't expect something to come immediately just because he has left home or something. It often seems to women so many years of she didn't achieve anything for herself, but it was completely dedicated to her kids and her family, cooking for her family, washing, taking care of the kids and the family, and all those years. Would she be compensated for that? When the mother works for the family, she works as if this family is mai. So when the mai is involved, then it's already a selfish work, isn't it? Kind of. I'm not saying that it's bad, but she is already being compensated for that, because like you are taking care of your own body. If your body is healthy, you have been compensated. So just as taking care of your own body wouldn't count as service, because that's your body that you are taking care of. And if it's healthy, you are already being compensated. So also for a wife or a mother, when they work for their family, if their family is doing fine, is eating good, is doing well, they are all healthy, then that is already compensation. Like, because she is working for them as we would work for things that are ours. Any other kind of sacrifices that you might imagine of, and even if it seems like well, how are they compensated? Like the soldiers who lose their lives in the border, well, even they are compensated, because somehow or the other they're not that how the government compensates their family or how much praise they receive from society, not only that, but even for the next life they are compensated. So you have to trust that until you get to know it firsthand yourself. So if you want to know everything, the thing is that you have to do your sadhana and meditate and proceed further, so that you are able to see and understand. So yes, everything is being compensated for, but the thing is, when you sacrifice, you shouldn't be expecting return. The sacrifice is a sacrifice. You will be compensated, that is a different matter, that is from God's side. But when you are sacrificing, it's not that you should be expecting something. And if you are expecting something, then that's punya karma. That's just good deeds, and of course even then you will be rewarded. And it's not only monetary economic thing, or we are often rewarded in various ways. It might be money, it might be peace and happiness, it might be protection, it might be so many different things. You sow one grain, and when the sapling comes out, one grain of wheat, how many more grains of wheat it gives, isn't it, from that one plant? You plant one mango seed, when the tree comes up, even if it takes time, it gives so many mangoes back, isn't it? So one good deed done well always gives so much more in return, because you see, every good thought, good deed, good prayer raises your vibration higher. And when your vibration is raised on a higher level, you already attract so much of goodness into your life. So it's a huge tenfold, hundredfold return. In the end, I would like to mention this poem of Rabindranath Tagore, where I will just give the gist of the story of the poem. That a beggar, he was standing, and the king was passing by from there, and the king comes up to the beggar and begs for something, and the beggar is very shocked because he was expecting to receive a lot of alms and whatever, a lot of valuable things, but instead this king is asking for something. And this beggar, hesitatingly, he brings out one grain of rice and gives it to the king, and the king smiles and goes away. And at the end of the day, when the beggar opens his bag, he finds one grain of gold instead of rice, and he understands that he was compensated like that, like for giving one grain of rice, one grain of gold was given. And he, at that time, he cries and weeps and repents that why didn't I give my all to the king? Then I would have been rewarded like a bag full of gold grains, and he would have been gotten richer. So it metaphorically says that what you give comes back to you so much more valuable. Keep doing good things and pray for others, and without any hesitation or without any calculation. If you are calculating, like, well, I worked for 5 minutes and I should be compensated with 10 rupees, and I have been doing this and I should be rewarded with this. If you are calculating, then you will be receiving only that much. When you give without any expectation, only then you receive so much more, because you are not limiting your expectation to a certain limited amount of reward. So keep that open. Like, well, I do it with my pleasure. I do it because I am satisfied doing it. I do it because I'm happy when I'm doing it. I love serving others or doing things for others. Think like that. And then the reward that returns is so much more than you can ever imagine. So that's that. Namaste. Hari Om. Jai Ma. Jai Ma.